This is Tyler from Traitors, and you are watching RichardMetalFan.
So what's up, guys? RichardMetalFan here with another episode of RichardMetalFan Interviews, episode 53, here at the Masquerade in Atlanta, Georgia, and I get to talk with Tyler Shelton from Traitors. How are you doing, Tyler?
I am lovely, and I am in Georgia, and I love it.
That's awesome. So I know you're currently on this tour with Left to Suffer, Wrist Metal Razor.
Wrist Meat Razor, yep.
Yeah, it's like a tongue twister itself, and Scumfuck. So how's the tour been going? Most typical interview question ever.
Yes, the interview and the question. So we're having a really good time so far. We just crushed Florida really hard, and it's a Sunday right now, so we're getting pretty stoked for this. Helicopters watching over the show. It's sold out. It's a riot down here, but yeah, it's been great. The first 3 days have been awesome.
That's awesome. So basically the format is I want to kind of like do a rundown of your catalog and talk about like your musical journey, but let's just dive right back into the very beginning.
Right.
What were the first bands that got you into metal, and what made you want to be a vocalist?
Well, I went to my first local show in like 2008, I think. I was probably 15. And I saw a bunch of local bands there, and like I met a bunch of people, and like became friends with like a whole bunch of new people. Kind of just like a lot of the local bands. I saw Adalia perform when I was one of the first bands I saw that were like super tight, and that was very inspiring. And Hell Followed With and like Through the Eyes of the Dead are pretty vocally inspiring for me. So definitely.
Yeah. So and what were your bands before starting up Traitors?
So I tried a local band with a little garbage can drum set that I had, and we played like half a show, no momentum really, and then I started booking shows, and I met these guys that needed a vocalist named Visionaries, and that's where it all started. We wrote an album for a very long time and put something together, and after that kind of fizzled out, and then I joined Traitors.
Awesome. And so then how did Traitors form? Because y'all formed in 2012, I believe?
October 2013, basically Steven, we met through me booking shows and me playing Visionaries, and he's the main reason why I'm here today.
Awesome. And talking about that self-titled EP that in 2013, like, it sounds fucking heavy. Like, where'd y'all record it at?
So we recorded it down south with 1776 Recordings. Basically, this self-titled was just a huge thing for us, and we had it was like really picked up at first, and I was just kind of this like, hey, I want a slugfest. I want to be the heaviest the thing there is out there. So Traitors actually started at 120 BPM, and then immediately we cut it in half to 60. Very slow. It's like almost Doom.
Awesome. And I love how you worked with like Alex from Black Tongue and Luke from Macrania. How did you get them to work collab on a couple of songs from that?
Honestly, I just reached out directly. Alex was already interested in Traitors, so it was an easy grab. And I think Luke had commented on it too. So I'm just like, hey, I like both of those guys. I loved Macrania at the time, and Black Tongue was a force to be reckoned with in that era as well. So honestly, those two are just reached out to him.
Yeah, and according with the self-title, was that sort of like something to lead up while we get to the debut full-length album Hate Campaign in 2015?
So Hate Campaign, honestly, just was kind of out of nowhere. Like after the EP, we did a little single in between that, and it wasn't really exactly what we wanted. So the Hate Campaign was just a little touch faster. Honestly, we always talk about what could have been if we were a little bit faster of a band, because 2013-14 things really were like a slugfest, and then 2015 was Night Terrors, and that really is when we started picking shit up. But
yeah, because I know Hate Campaign, Night Terrors came out the same year, 2015.
Yep. But both of those are just like a huge transition, and they're totally different than each other. So
yeah, and one of my favorite songs from Night Terrors is the song Burnout with Trevor Sternad from Black Dahlia Murder. How'd you hook up with him?
He is a fan of the band, and he reached out to us.
Wow. I
was very, very humbled by that. That was one of the dreamlike experiences I was able to have, and we shared the stage together and actually performed.
Yeah, I know he actually lives here in Georgia.
Yeah.
He lives down in Decatur, because I ran into him last month at a Cannibal Corpse.
Yep. He honestly is a true inspiration and remains to be one this day. He's a very good man.
Yeah, and with like collaborating with other vocalists, does that like open like new ideas for you like vocally?
So collaborate. I mean, I don't really collaborate as much as I used to with other like to get like guest features on our music and stuff like that. But I'm all ears when it comes to working with other vocalists and musicians. I love projects, and honestly, I don't have a side project, so that would be something that I'd be like look forward to, definitely.
Yeah, and then tell me about mental state. Was that, did you felt like pressure to follow up the Hate Campaign in a way?
Honestly, like after Night Terrors and the hate campaign, I was like, shit, like what's next? And we kind of relinquished a lot of the writing over to Steven because he had that new metal feel to it. And we feel like that Mental State has aged very appropriately because it's playable anytime. It's a little bit faster, a bit more picked up, and people like banging their heads more than beating the shit out of each other. So
Yeah. And then anger issues is up next. What was that like going from Mental State to anger issues?
So at this point, I thought I had it all figured out, and I started dealing with like really, really bad, just blood pressure, always being mad due to it, and stuff like that. So,
Yeah. The things that happen at interviews, people.
yes, especially of all times.
All right.
Let's give it a break.
Yeah. Hey, quiet. We're doing an interview.
Yes. What the fuck? He's good.
It's all good.
He's good. We're good. They're all fired, but we're good.
And then the most recent release, Repent. I love that album. That was like really what really made me a fan of you guys. Like I've listened to you guys before, but that really what made me just delve into like the other stuff and dig what you guys have put out. So tell me about that.
So I mean, we like Repent, but we feel like it was one of our more like it was a bit more rushed for us, and it was just kind of regressing to our old sound because we felt like people want traditional, old school, heavyweight, just slow and low stuff. But realistically, that was the EP that made us realize, like, hey, this is crunch time. We're on year 6 or 7 of our band, and it's getting pretty real here. So we definitely wanted, that was the release that made us realize that we wanted to do more picked up stuff.
All right, and of course now you have 2 new singles out called Menace to Society and Enemy. What is that like a clear representation of what the next Traitor release will sound like, or is that just the tip of the iceberg, so to speak?
I feel like this is just the beginning. Menace and Enemy, like, were both written in different lengths of time. Menace to Society we wrote for a long time because we really wanted to make sure that we were honing in on a new sound. But yeah, this is just the beginning of the next chapter. I mean, we're closing the book where a lot of the old songs we play that you guys hear, like Disappoint and Arrogance, those will be things of the past, and we will be having a totally fresh set where it's all just picked up and faster.
All right. And as a vocalist, do you need to hear music in order to come up with lyrics, or do you usually have like a lyrical concept in mind and that can help determine the outcome of the music itself?
Yeah, I usually just influence myself. I realistically, like, I used to be influenced when I was like by musicians, like lyrically when I was younger, but it's all personal experience and how I feel towards, outwardly towards the world. So.
Right. Do you usually leave your lyrics open to interpretation, or you try to engage the listener into what the songs are about?
I like to leave them open to interpretation because I learned my lesson. I wrote one song specifically for a family member that I had lost, and then people were kind of interpreting it as something different or like making jokes about it. And rather than get upset about it, I'm like, they're enjoying themselves, and that is what anybody would have wanted. So.
Right. Could like somebody's own interpretation of the songs maybe look at yourself differently as an artist?
I mean, to be completely honest, people can do and say what they feel. It's out there. It's an open book. It's for them to read and interpret, and that's totally fine. I'm just, at the end of the day, want to create the character that is, Tyler Shelton himself. I want people to think, is this really how this person is, or how is he on and off stage?
Totally. And I got 2 more questions for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I love asking this artist this because I usually get like the most simple answer and I get a really good answer. But kind of going back to songwriting, how do you know when a song is done?
Oh, that's a great question. Honestly, I will give these guys a whole bunch of lyrics, and we will go over them so much that like 80% of them won't even be used. I feel like I know a song is done once I've revised what's already down on the track. Like, I'd say like at least 2 or 3, and I'd be like, all right, this is probably like 90%, 80% done. So honestly, just getting it on paper and getting everybody to agree with it.
All right. And the final question I want to ask you is coming from Florida, because Florida has like a diverse metal scene. We got like the old school death metal, like Cannibal Corpse, Deicide, Morbid Angel, Joel, but then you also have like other softer, poppier bands like The Day to Remember, even like metalcore bands like Wage War. So was there like a scene in Florida that you felt a part of, or was it for the goal for Traitors to get outside of Florida and play in front of like different states and countries and stuff? Yeah, my goal was to right off the bat not play local shows and not sell tickets. I was very blessed because I feel like I manifested that with my team, and we never sold pre-sales to any shows. We just skipped the local part.
I already did that with like my past bands, and I understood that it could make you spin your wheels. Looking good. Kick flip. But I mean, personally, yeah, I feel like I got sidetracked by my awesome skateboarding guitarist skills.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I feel like I wanted to get our music out of Florida. I mean, we honestly hit really hard in other areas too, so.
Awesome. So before we go, I just want to thank you for this interview. It's going to be an awesome show tonight. Is there anything else with Traitors that you would like to promote?
Honestly, right now, I appreciate you for the interview, and we kept it short and sweet. We're doing VIP and all that fun stuff, so we just want people to come out and hang out and get that all-inclusive experience. You know, I like to entertain people on stage, and when I'm off stage, I like to make people feel like, wow, that was an experience that I don't always get at metal shows, and that's where we differ.
Awesome. So
thank
anyway,
you, man.
Thank you,
I
Tyler.
appreciate you, dude.
Tyler from Traitors. We'll see you next time.